Hello dear teachers, students and the viewers of our next video lesson, the following video lesson. Now we will speak with you about literary translation. Assalomu alaykum hurmatli talabalar, ustozlar va video darsimiz kuzatuvchilari. Bugun biz noodatiy tarzda siz bilan umumiy mavzular emas, balki maxsus mavzular haqida gaplashamiz. Jumladan badiiy tarjima. Tarjima xususida siz bilan suhbatlashamiz. Now let's begin our lesson. So what is translation itself? Translation is the act of giving someone's other's opinion in other language, in one language, to another language. And there are a lot of types of translation. So I know you have heard about literary translation, medical translation, business translation, or interpreting, yes? So translation itself is divided into two basic groups, translation and interpretation. The translation is the act of translating something, for example, any kind of material, written material, into the other language. And Newmark wrote about literary translation in his books briefly, and it's useful. I advise you to read these books if you want to know about translation, especially literary translation. The translator participates in power play when translating some kind of written material, whether it is novel or a story, a rhythm or a poem. Translator plays an important role in bridging two countries, two languages. That's why we should know what is translation itself, who is translator, and types of translations. Literary translation is one of four broad categories in translation. You know what categories are these, and the literary translation implies the genres of all written materials like drama, novels, stories, poems, or prose. In the process of literary translation, the translator come across some kind of difficulties, and we now speak about it with you. The problems in the literary translation are the following. The first one is cultural problems. For example, Uzbek people are different from Englishmen. You know, Englishman likes tea, yes? And according to our nationality, it is true the fact that before old people, no one in the family can eat. These will be the cultural differences of countries, and it will make difficulties for translators. The next problem is linguistic problem. The languages, the pronunciations, the rule of pronunciations, the alphabetical orders differ from each other. That's why translator will be attentive when translating some kind of literary materials. And the next one is psychological. Psychological difference is also important. The next one is deceptive cognitives and equivalence. The style also plays important role. Among them, linguistic features are more difficult than others because there are differences between languages in literary forms like linguistic meanings, denotative, connotative meanings, and dictionary meanings, logical meanings, or some kind of stylistic features. That's why I ask all translators to be attentive when translating linguistic concepts of one country to another one, to another language. And literary, as we mentioned above, literary translation consists of the translation of poetry, literary books, literary texts, rhythms, novels, and poems. So now we will make a conclusion to our lesson now, and we make some case studies and diagrams on our whiteboard. So as we mentioned it, there are two main types of translation. They are interpretation oral, it's oral speech, and the next one is translation. Translation is divided into two types. The first one, we can do translation process according to form-based translation, and meaning-based translation. So meaning-based translation types is also in itself will be divided into some types. The first one, medical translation, meaning-based, and it will be different according to the theme, the sphere. Medical, literary, the next one is business, there will be so many according to the sphere. So we can say that it will be specific maybe. And now we will speak with you about literary translation. Yes, literary translation itself will be divided into two categories: poetry and novels. Novels will be divided, and the translators in this category will translate some kind of stories or novels, drama, and so on. And the translators of poetry will translate poems and rhythms. During the process of literary translation, the translators come across some kind of difficulties, and the next lesson we will speak with you about the difficulties of translators, and about our presentation. During our presentation, we learned with you the difficulties. With it, if you have understand the diagram, the following structure, it will help you to translate some kind of materials from one language into another language. And I hope you liked our video lesson. I'm sorry if I have any mistakes, and I hope it will help you improve your translating skills. Our lesson is over. Bye.